train to repel the attack, because these hoodlums and big criminals come in large number, in their hundreds. So even if you have a full unit of mobile policemen, they may still dare it because they are desperate. Because criminals want to commit offenses if they know that they commit offenses and there's no certainty of arrest or punishment. So in this light, we have to look at this scenario that happened, very unfortunate. But what we know, when we have other transportations like the aircraft, if there's a problem with a plane, within a second, the control room is supposed to know there's a problem. And
it seems we've lost Dr. Bala there. Whenever we reconnect, we continue discussion. Okay, we're told that she's back now. Let's hear you. You're talking, Dr. Bala. Right on, Dr. Bala. We're listening.
The army came about 1 hour, 30 minutes. It may not be their fault from local team, because if it's the time they informed them to arrive, that there was danger that.
We'll get back to you later. It seems to have a little glitch there. So, we're back to you, Fidet. Okay, that very axis of the road is really problematic, very troublesome. Regina, for instance, when you look back, into history, you find that place, as you mentioned, the embankments are very high, the place is dangerous, and lots more of that. From this experience, even when the rails are being laid, and when these things are being conceived, these are things that are supposed to have come to mind and been placed on the table for serious security. I don't know how this very aspect skipped, the design, the execution, and of course the operation of these strands.
You see, when you have a general principle in construction of rail all over the world, it's not unique to Nigeria, and what we try to do is also have the modern signaling and communication that is real time, and that's what we are working on. And you have to have that basic infrastructure, like power, like communication, for you to get real time information on the control system, because now we may be forced to have our own separate from the normal general communication, just as only for Nigerian Railway, which come at a cost, and at the same time the railway personnel is not properly trained for the insecurity that is happening, and we cannot isolate the rail from the national security program. It has to be captured and along with it, because today it's rail, but even as at that Monday, a lot of this thing would have happened, in bits outside the rail system. It's just because it happened on rail and the volume of people we carry that this at a peak. And now that it has happened, I think everybody concerned will have to sit tight and ensure that protection will be provided. Not because we have cameras inside the coach, but you can only see what happened when we play back during that period. But on the track, we don't have such security. And the last time I was here, I told you that we are doing a procurement process to ensure that at least Abuja, Kaduna can be monitored real time, that if you have infraction on the track, unwanted person, even a cow, is on the track, you can notice it and see what that person is doing.
Engineer here, I'm sorry to interject. We'll have the opportunity because we have you in the studio. We understand that Dr. Bala Hassan is back to us via Zoom. Dr. Bala Hassan, you were explaining something before we lost you and the connection just went off. I wanted to take along this question, because when we say that the attackers came in their tens or in their hundreds. I'm just wondering, I mean, how could this just be happening? And nobody picks up any prior information as to how and when and where, most likely, these bandits or terrorists would strike. These are locations that are within the jurisdiction of security and other personnel. How does this happen that, tens or even hundreds of bandits will carry out, even plan this, and there's no interception?
That's where the deployment of technology comes into play, because the track is very long. There is no way you can put policemen or security men from Kaduna to Abuja to police. But I learned previously that the Inspector General of Police has acquired unarmed aerial vehicles. What are the use of these unarmed aerial vehicles? They are supposed to be deployed. They are supposed to deploy it on these vulnerable areas, the flashpoints, so that if there is any incursion by groups, suspected groups, it will be detected and security deployed to deal with them accordingly. So this is not done. There is no way you can police Kaduna, Abuja physically. It must be by scientific means. And when there is technology deployed, this unarmed area will be able to see that there are some group of people moving suspiciously. And when they give the social report, there is for the men on the ground now to who I believe should be put on certain intervention centers along the route. There should be intervention centers around the route, whereby if there is any incursion, these people can move immediately to come and act. That way, these hoodlums will be deterred from committing this crime. But manually, this is rather impossible. And you can see from the report, when the military came and intervened, they worked up the terrorists, they ran away. But the time they came, some damage had been done. The military may have come by road. We have a record Nigeria trying to purchase Chinook helicopters from US 2014, but it was not possible because of human rights abuses. But now that we have seen that the chiefs are done, if they have not already bought those Chinook helicopters, they should go ahead and acquire them. These are helicopters that are armor-plated and they can carry as many as 50 troops. So with that way, from the intervention centers, once the unarmed aerial vehicles have detected incursion, they can move them to come and secure the people who are in distress in a very short period. But you can see the army body. I want to believe that the army were not informed immediately this thing happened. I stand to be corrected, because the time the thing happened, if they have immediately, there was no communication between the train and Kaduna. The train couldn't communicate to where the destination, and they couldn't communicate from the starting point. Then the people in the control room should know that there was danger. There is no harm in escalating the situation and informing the military, or the security forces, so that they can move in immediately in time to ward off these hoodlums. So enough has to be done. More things have to be done to stop these things. This is one of the things that I think should be done. But on a long term, it's better to comb all these forests and to carry this battle to these hoodlums once and for all, because when they are not dealt with, there are many. And we have reports that when the army enters Sambisa, more than 50,000 Boko Haram surrendered, which means these people are in their thousands. It's not easy to be killing 5, 3, 4 and think they will finish. So I hope the security forces should come together and carry this battle, comb all the forests where they are likely to be, because these forests are, whether you like, on government territories, because they used to be there used to be forest reserves where in those days, but now these things are no more happening. So these occupy those areas. They should be identified technologically by use of drones, and the security forces should jointly deal with them decisively as they are doing in Zamfara. And this should be done in all facets. If they start it in Zamfara without doing it in Kaduna or vice versa, they will move to other areas by domino effect. They will move to area where they say. So if they want to go ahead and carry out this approach, I'm suggesting that all the states affected, Kaduna, Zamfara, Sokoto, Katsina, should do it at the same time. That way, we'll be able to bring this thing under control. Otherwise, if you start making measures, do it here, they will run to here, we will continue to run the cycle. We will still be off our guard, and this may likely happen. So I'm suggesting that the government should do much more than it's doing.
Thank you, Dr. Bala Hassan. Well, I want to return to the piece of my question, namely, how is it possible for this kind of incidents to be occurring fairly regularly? A few days earlier, before the train attack, we saw what happened at the Kaduna airport. Whole villages in some other locations have also been sacked, and you hear of scores of these terrorists and hoodlums arriving to carry out their atrocities. And in the case of the train attack, for them to have been so well organized, along of course with their logistics for moving those whom they were going to kidnap on the train service, and nobody could intercept. No intelligence was picked up to say this is what is likely to happen, and therefore you begin to work on it. You talked about the unmanned area vehicles. Those unmanned area vehicles will only pick up information as to where, for instance, there's an interference with the rail track or where people are gathering. But I'm saying, just plain human intelligence. Nobody is picking this up, and it happens on a regular basis, and no questions are asked, and apparently no sanctions given to those who cover those locations and where these things happened.
Well, we will look at failure of intelligence, because each of the security arms have their own duty to perform for Nigeria to be safe. So those who are in charge, because they are supposed to through their island, they use walkie-talkie from the information we gather from some of the speakers. These are things that should be intercepted, and also they must be using telephones. They must be using telephones. So the security agents, those in charge of intelligence, have a duty to ensure that to intercept some messages and interpret them, and raise a red flag that there is likely to be attack in a particular area. If this is done, the men who operate overtly will come and deploy themselves in this area to ensure that this thing doesn't happen. So each one of the security forces should up their game and do what they are supposed to do. If there are certain things they lack in this regard, the National Assembly is there to appropriate funds for them, but they should produce results. They should produce. Nigerians are not after where these are done. Nigerians want to see results. And we want to feel that if you are giving somebody a task, give me a task, give me a timeline. Okay, in the next 6 months, this is what you want. Is it what you want? Okay, if you want to produce a result, okay. If there is no result, there are people who are ready to do the work. We fire you. That's how it should be done. We are working in the system. We know some of us succeeded because we are afraid of the consequences of being disgraced out of office. So you have to sit up, put your thinking cap, do the right thing, and get results for yourself and your career and for your nation. So the intelligence community should rise up their game and work with other security forces. Each of them should rise up their game and make sure that Nigeria and Nigerians are safe. Nigerians want a safe country, and what they expect is to get it. And if there's any lacuna, any loophole in what they are looking for, they should go to the National Assembly. This is what they want. But if they give them, they should produce results for Nigeria. It's not a matter of that, because it's not a time for tea party. Each head of department, each head should sit down and work 24 hours to see that Nigeria is safe. When this is done, we won't have any problem to talk about.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Bala Hassan, and indeed the other guests. We're taking a short break now. When we return, we'll continue with the conversation.
157-kilometer Lagos-Ibadan Railway is the first double-track standard gauge railway to be built in West Africa. The Mobolaji Johnson train station is a masterpiece, an infrastructure that is gradually becoming an iconic building in Lagos State. The modern facilities put the station on a world map of train stations. Likewise, other new train stations across the country built to world-class standards. The train and its convenience is indeed an admirable effort, with commendations from Nigerians.
This is a station that we have to commend the federal government for putting a beautiful face, empowering us in Lagos State, not only in economic and political arena.
I can say that I'm really impressed with the infrastructures in place. kudos to the Minister of Transportation, kudos to the federal government.
Truly, good things are coming out of Nigeria, and the federal government is deserving of all the applause.
Do you run a breast or cervical cancer service? Are you a private or public laboratory, clinic or hospital that offer any of breast imaging, cervical cancer screening, HPV vaccination, or other breast or cervical cancer services? Is your service a primary, secondary, or tertiary center located in any part of Nigeria, no matter how remotely located it is? If yes, to any of these questions, then subscribe to the OCI Foundation's CERVICAL app and become accessible and visible to millions of Nigerians. It is all for free. To subscribe, just type the CERVICAL application form on Google or go to the OCI Foundation's page on www.ocifoundation.org and search for CERVICAL application form. Complete the form and submit, and let millions of Nigerians patronize you, all for free. Become part of the OCI Foundation's quest to tackle breast and cervical cancers in Nigeria, and join us to rise by lifting others.
Finally, the hero of Nigeria's democracy has arrived. He shall usher us into a new phase of development, peace, and prosperity. He is the father of the new Nigeria, His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR. Welcome to another season of giving Nigerians hope yet again. We are sure of a great future for both ourselves and generations yet unborn. We look forward to your leading us as a nation into our manifest destiny. Though the challenges against us as a people are many, we know that your leadership shall set us on the right path to our greatness. A new dawn beckons on us all, and having you as our president is a precursor to this. Thank you for believing in Nigeria. This message is from the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA.
Dialogue, empathy, love, and unity. These are vital components of nation building.
For all to be well, we appeal that we should refrain from volatile, provocative, inciting messages and language.
Let's build and not destroy.
Hey, welcome back. You're watching Good Morning Nigeria, and we're talking about or continuing our discussion on the Abuja Kaduna train attack. This second part, we started that on Tuesday. And now let's move on, Fidel Okiri, and then draw from history now and look into the future, see what we really can do. Because what has happened has happened. We're now trying to see the possibility of avoiding or forestalling future occurrence. We are in the know of, such, not exactly such, but vandalization of, rail tracks during the time that was last year or thereabout. And I can remember the Minister of Transportation was here. We talked about that and she gave some assurances regarding some security. And here we are again, not only vandalized, but this time around vandalized to a point of attack, in which so many lives were lost, and of course a lot of people are still recuperating in the medical facilities. I don't know what has happened really, or what do we need to do? I mean, for once bitten, twice shy. We cannot be told of how dangerous and how bad the situations are. You are at the center of this. All things fall on the table. The box rests there, and I always want to dig into your mind and then see what's running in your mind, given the fact that it's your conscience that's carrying people all over. And then always remember the lives that were lost and the lives if those that are being, carried from one point to the other. I don't know.
So see, on the vandalization, it got to alarming stage that even people were now escorting those that were vandalizing. I raised the alarm once here, and I think luckily now that has reduced because of the what I've said openly on air about police arresting soldiers, arresting police, civil defense arresting. But do you know the irony of it all? Even when we want to move material officially, that is the one they hold. Like we want to do a site in Fontua, say move some material from Bauchi. It will take 1 week. I will be writing letters to allow them to pass. But meanwhile, the vandalized items are
express passage.
Yeah. So I think we have to change our attitude and culture. You see, somebody only live once, and I don't see somebody who has said he has had enough money in his life that can make you risk people's lives like this. A train, if it's carrying 20 wagons of goods, don't even say human being, it's worth some billions of dollars if it's cement. So if you allow that to happen, like we experience it most often, it costs us extra money to first of all send a lighter truck like the rail bus. You go from so distant to those distant, ensure that the track has not been vandalized before the next train can come in. And you cannot meet up the journey time of such a train, because you have to be sure that every second you are checking. So that's why we say, okay, if we deploy technology that can monitor it, it will reduce costs. That is the operational cost, but the capex will be high so much. And you see, also have to protect even those equipment you want to deploy based on our present cultural situation. So we just pray that people change their mind and know that there is no
prayer is good, but law enforcement is also very important.
So when things beyond you pray, do you understand?
That's true. But Engineer Fidet, in addition to what my colleague asked, but more specific back again to the Abuja Kaduna train service, you had a derailment. I don't know what language you use in the railways. If it's like a ship that is sunken, you say you refloat the ship. So in the railway, I would imagine that you are going to tow the rail trucks, the rail coaches, and take them to your workshop, and then of course do all the things. So how long is this likely to take? And then just from mere observation, is this going to be a costly operation?
Yeah, it's going to be costly. We have to ensure that our men are properly protected in that zone. That's a cost element. The soldiers, the mobile policemen have to be there, and at least they have to be fed. And the men have to work. Right now, ordinarily we work day and night, but we cannot work at night in that present location. So we have a timeline of 2 weeks to get back and probably start operation. Because what we have here is 12 coaches and 1 locomotive. Luckily, one of the locomotive that was leading, nothing happened to it. We have been able to restart that and move it to Kaduna. So yesterday our men have, because of the terrain, we have a railing jack that can go there and pick the coach and put back on the section that is good. But as I said, it's a cutting. There's no enough space to maneuver crane. So what we have what we call a lifting jack. Before now we used to have the one that we require 10 people to jack, but now with the press of the button, the jack will lift up, we connect it to lights. So we hope by today we'll be able to have recovered 2 based on assessment, and the track has to be laid because the track is already twisted because of the disconnection they had on the clip. So we are we hope within the next 2 weeks, everything's been equal. The track would have been fixed for the coaches, except when we take them to the workshop and do proper diagnosis, that we know those that can be back immediately and those that will require maybe even getting spare parts and on to fix them.
You know why I'm asking this? Not about, if you recall, a couple of years ago, the commonest complaint about the Abuja Kaduna Trade Service was that we didn't have enough coaches.
Yeah.
Now you have provided apparently
three sets.
Come again, please.
3 sets of
3 sets. And here we are. So, if you relaunch, are you going to have enough coaches? Or, as I said again, from my observation, how long might it take? Because we understand there are pock marks from the bullets that were fired by the terrorists.
Yes, a lot of them. Punch holes and all those. See, what we do is, for now, we may have to limit ourselves to. I'm not saying it cannot happen daytime. We limit it to day, but there will be pressure again. People say ticket racketeering because they don't have enough trains. So we definitely we shop them, ensure we repair them properly. They have to be fit, and I think we are going to start with the present 2. Maybe have, instead of these 10 trains we are running, we'll go back to 6 a day and try to make sure we don't run in the night. I think that should be our immediate plan. We have to go back and set our timetable to mix the maximum demand time, and so that we can serve Nigeria well.
Okay, thank you, Engineer. Since we're still having Yakubu Nuhu Danja, the Commissioner of Health, Katsina State, who is recuperating in a medical facility in Kaduna, is a victim of this unfortunate incident in Abuja Kaduna train. Yakubu, earlier in your first submission when we just started this program, you even moved on forward and then telling us beyond what really happened to what should happen, I would say. You're talking about solutions to this kind of problem. Now, as somebody who has experienced this firsthand, I know, God forbid, this, when it happens again, at least you have, a better strategy to, find yourself safer in some other places. What would you tell people boarding trains now, especially on this road, as regards security, their security, and of course, in the event of unfortunate happenings like this? That is one side of the question. The other one is for you. I would want you to complete your own submission regarding the issue of what needs to be done, what the government, the security agencies, the NRC, Railway Corporation should do in order to forestall this. We have very limited time remaining on this program.
Thank you very much for that question. As I earlier mentioned, that from the side of the government, there is need to intensify more vigilance, more security, especially within that portion. Since this is the second occurrence of this kind of incident within that location, they really have a serious advantage, and considering the fact that the rail are, under an embankment that is very high, and they tend to, from experience, stand within the top of the embankment, and that is giving them more advantage to do whatever they want to do, to be shooting sporadically. So my suggestion, one, to the passengers, honestly, to desist from joining the evening train, and I'm sure the government as well too should be able to look at a situation where they will substitute the evening train to maybe another hour, maybe leaving by 4 and then reaching our destination by 6. That may be a little safer, even though the location is a situation, is a location whereby reoccurrence of this kind of serious damage may happen even in a broad daylight. So for the government, apart from intensifying security within that location, there is also need for us to have some technology that will help us monitor what's really happening. From what we observed, the bolts and nuts holding the rails were lost. So if we can be able to have some cameras, even though the cameras can also be vandalized, and if the cameras are vandalized, unfortunately, up to now in Nigeria, we don't have that technology to be able to trace who are these vandals. Despite all that, let's do the little we can within our power to install the cameras while maybe vigilance. I know it's really capital intensive and manning people within that location, but as I said, it's cheaper than losing lives. So there is no better way to do this traveling from the northern part of the country. People coming from Sokoto, Zamfara, Kebbi, Katsina, Kano, Kaduna are all passing through Kaduna for them to reach to Abuja for so many things. So we just have to secure these roads by all means. By all means. Honestly, our government needs to stand up more to put more enforcement to face these people. They are human beings like us. Now we can be able to face. And I'm sure they are not stronger than our military or our police personnel in terms of the sophistication of the equipment, in terms of the technology and the know-how to do the fight. So we really need to do something. It's quite sympathetic. If you look at the foreigners that are inside that train, you know, I quite sympathize with them.
Yakubu Danja, if I may, we're getting pressed for time now. Did you get a sense of perhaps a profile of the assailants when they stormed the train? Because with some accounts we've heard said that these persons were probably in their late teens, around about 18 years, probably no more than their early 20s. What did you get? Did you have the presence of mind to ascertain that, or did you get that also from those who probably encountered them and then slither the word?
Well, for me, I didn't see any of them face to face, but I have seen their legs passing through us while we were lying down in the couch, you know. But for me to see their faces, that I didn't, to be able to assess their age. But one of the people that were able to escape told me that one of the people, one of the bandits that attacked him is not up to 20 years. He's just a teenager, and he was even begging him that please and please let me kindly give you something to kindly allow me to go. He said, okay, give me. He said he was having some amount of money, about 50,000 naira, which he gave to him, thinking that that may, help him to be released. After grabbing the 50,000 naira, he said to him, let's go. He said, after our agreement, he said, which agreement? We must go. We are looking for a bigger one, no, not this chicken change. To him, he said, they are just teenagers. And they were so intoxicated, taking drugs and hems, as he said, well, they are not too
too old, are just within the age of 20, 20 something.
Okay, no, Danja, thanks a lot. Let's also bring in very quickly retired AIG Dr. Bala Hassan. Dr. Bala Hassan, if you are still there, I want to ask this question. It's become so commonplace these days when incidents of this nature happen, and we are saying, get the military, get the military. I'm just wondering.
The responsibility of preventing crime solely, we agree, is out of the police. But that's why I asked, when this incident happened, what did the control room do? Did they call the military? Did they call the police? If they have called the police control room, definitely the Mopol men will have moved to come and secure the situation. But it depends where they are. They're supposed to put this Mopol men in an area we call intervention centers to identify an intervention center between Abuja and Kaduna. Maybe 3 intervention centers, keep them there, let them be at alert at all times. Anytime this thing happens, they will move. But I know if they are called the Kaduna State Police Command, they will have come. But then, how will they come? If they come by road, it will still be, they will come 1 hour, 30 minutes to the time, and these things will still happen. You understand me? So, in future, what we want them to do is to put in main intervention centers so that when this thing happens, the mobile policemen, the army, all the security forces jointly can move to the scene and ensure the secure Nigerians. Secondly, I want a situation whereby next train that will start running, they should put an aerial patrol. It's not too expensive for Nigerians to do to protect the lives of citizens. There should be aerial patrol to be escorting the train to and fro, no matter what it costs. It's better than losing so many lives and terrorizing Nigerians. So we should put aerial patrol in addition to drones. That is the only way you assure Nigerians that will care for their safety. But if you allow this train to be going up and down, they may still try their luck one time. And similarly, that area should be identified as a black spot. They should completely secure that area so that it does not happen that place where you have some gorges that are high where they can go up and start shooting. That place should be secured by the security forces. While all other places, we can identify some 3 areas and put intervention centers whereby if there is any problem, they can move. It's easier said than done. If they move by road, they may still have problem of movement to the scene where it can happen. So that's why earlier on I talked about let's go with helicopters that are bulletproof, that this Chinook helicopter I monitor, even though it's about 35 million as of 2008, Nigeria can afford it. Now they have branded them as terrorists. So the US government should be able to sell this type of helicopter to our security forces. If they can carry 50 men to move to scene at any given time and ensure we secure Nigerians. Because if we cannot go by road, our safest way to reach Kaduna and part of the north is by rail. And these people should not take our joy by stopping us from going by rail. That is my take on this.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Bala Hassan. We appreciate the comments that you have made. Back to the studios, just before we wrap up, Engineer Fida Tuhiria, very quickly. Our focus has been on the Abuja Kaduna incident. We know that you are also running Itakbe Warri and then Lagos Kano, and the rail comeback. It's been in the news. What does this mean for your other operations?
You see, we have to, not just because we are discussing Abuja Kaduna, anything we are doing have to be impact on the other side. So we are not limiting any security issue or improvement to Abuja Kaduna alone, because it can be anywhere.
Okay.
So we think what we are doing will be extended to, and the security too should know that it's not just to concentrate on Abuja Kaduna. We have Itakbe Warri, we have Lagos Ibadan, we have Ibadan Kano, and so.
Okay, on that note, would like to appreciate you, Engineer Fida Tuhiria, Managing Director of the Nigerian Rail Corporation. Thank you for being our guest on Good Morning Nigeria. We also would like to thank retired Assistant Inspector General of Police, Dr. Bala Hassan. Dr. Bala Hassan, thank you very much, as always, for your insights. And last but not the least, Yakubu Nuhu Danja, Commissioner for Health in Katsina State, victim on that ill-fated train service. We appreciate your time with us this morning and wish you a speedy recovery and that you, as quickly as possible, reunite with your family. No,
thank you very much.
Thank you
for having me.
All right. Okay. If we'll have time for any of our segments, we'll probably take that, maybe sports or foreign.
Egypt have lodged an official complaint against Senegal in which they claim their team was subjected to racism and terrorized by home fans in Dakar. Sadio Mane's winning shootout penalty sealed Senegal's World Cup place, with his Liverpool teammate Mohamed Salah among those to miss for Egypt.
Salah then against Mendy, and he's missed it. How cool and calm and collected is he? Sadio Mane sends Senegal to the World Cup for the third time in their history.
Egypt captain Salah was one of several visiting players targeted by green laser pointers during the shootout. It is also claimed that the Egypt team boss was attacked, causing injuries. FIFA's disciplinary bodies analyzing reports from the game before deciding on any next steps to be taken. In tennis, former world number one Naomi Osaka moved into the Miami Open semifinals with a straight-set win over American Danielle Collins. The Japanese four-time Grand Slam champion, who is yet to drop his third in the tournament, served 13 aces in a 6-2, 6-1 win that lasted exactly an hour. Australian Open finalist Collins appeared to be struggling with a neck injury throughout the match. Osaka will play Belinda Bencic of Switzerland in the semi-finals.
Through to the semifinals in Miami for the first time, Naomi Osaka.
And that has been Good Morning Nigeria for today. We thank you so much for being part of it. Join us for another insightful edition of the program come Friday, that is tomorrow. I'm Yusuf Madawish.
And I'm Kingsley Osadala saying we'll have a lovely day ahead.
Days a week, you can watch NTA International live on your TV, computer, iPad, tablet and phone. Log on to visiontv.co.uk and click on Entertainment, then NTAI. You can also download the iOS or Android app on your mobile devices to watch NTA International on the go, anywhere in the world. NTA International, your window to the world.
What does it take to get ahead in today's world? To get your dream job, the perfect girl, even a table at your favorite dance club. It takes moving fast. It takes moving at the speed of 4G. With Intel 4G LTE, you've got it all covered. That's because you have access to super fast unlimited data that enables you move as fast as the speed of light. Now, no download is too heavy. No conversation too long. Nothing is impossible. Get Intel 4G LTE Advanced today and do so much more. Intel. Live more.
This is the network service of the NDA.
of the Super Eagles to play at their FIFA World Cup for the 7th time was dashed on Tuesday evening as the Super Eagles of Nigeria played at the 1-1 draw against the Black Stars of Ghana at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium. It was the second leg